I've been running competitively for over 15 years. I've had some incredible highs and some really tough lows. This past year tested me more than any before, and it forced me to completely rethink my approach to training, mindset, and nutrition. In this video, I'm putting those lessons into action and showing you exactly how I'm doing things differently this season. I make mistakes every year, but this last year, those mistakes were very exposing and that hurt a lot. But it also forced me to learn and reflect and try to grow from that experience. So right now, as I'm building up my training and working towards US cross country championships, I'm taking some time to reflect and think about what's worked during my years of running and how I can implement those lessons into my current training. So in this video, I'm going to talk about the changes I'll be making this year to my training, mindset, and nutrition, and some of the mistakes that led to those changes. First, we have training. And within training, the number one thing I'm going to change is have injury prevention be at the forefront of every training decision. Last year, I think the biggest mistake I made was getting injured, which obviously injuries are a part of the sport. It's not like I chose to get injured or tried to do that. But I do think there were some risks that we took in my training that weren't quite necessary and obviously didn't pay off. So number one is that last year I did increase my mileage, and I went from running 40 to 50 miles a week to running 50 to 60 to even 70 miles per week. I love mileage. I think it's so fun and I want to run as much of it as I can, but I also realized that I am injury prone, and if I can avoid injuries and have consistent training with slightly lower mileage, that is going to pay off 100 out of 100 times. So right now my training is 4 runs a week, 2 cross-train days, and 1 full rest day. And the second training change is to avoid the cross-training drain. During this last year, I did a lot of Zwift biking, especially during my injury, and that ended up really sapping my legs and taking away from some of my running workouts. So this year, while I am still going to be cross-training a lot and using that as a training tool, I'm only doing 30 to 45 minute Zwift rides as small doubles. And then on my bigger cross-training days, I'm either riding outside or going on the arc trainer. And that's not only more enjoyable to me, but it's also something that helps me get that aerobic training without fully muscularly draining my legs. I'm trying to really see cross-training as a productive part of training. If I can just see it as beneficial, then I'll be so much more excited about it and less tempted to do higher mileage. The third training change is more stride. Just running easy mileage is one of the best ways to improve your running economy. So when mine is lower, that means that I need to find other ways of doing that. Right now, that's been strides. And now I always do strides, but I usually do 4 by 30 seconds or 5 to 6 by 20 second strides. Whereas right now I've been doing 1 day of 6 by 20 second hills and 1 day of 8 to 10 by 30 second hills, which ends up being more of a mini workout and really helps to activate my neuromuscular system, improve my running economy, and maximize my power output. So I'm improving my speed and my efficiency even while doing lower mileage. The fourth training change is working out on different surfaces. The track will always be my happy place and also always be a part of my training, but it's also hard for me to avoid my overachiever persona when I'm on the track. I just want to hit fast splits. I love the feel of it. It's amazing, but it's also a lot of stress on my body. And so right now I've been doing more of my workouts on grass and hills and the uphill treadmill so that the impact on my body can be a little bit less, the injury risk is lower, and save those specific track workouts for certain points of the year when they will really give us the most bang for the buck. And that brings us to training change 5, which is the uphill treadmill threshold. I do 1 threshold workout every week for most of the year. While I do enjoy doing those outside, it can be pretty high impact hitting the pavement at fast speeds. So we've been moving that to the uphill treadmill where I do my threshold at 8%. And this is usually 3 to 10 minute reps with short rest between for 25 to 40 minutes of threshold. I do see a lot of benefit in it because uphill running and long climbs have always been one of my weaknesses. So if I can manage to get in a lot of good threshold training at a low impact while also improving my uphill muscular power and efficiency, hey, It's a win-win. And during these workouts, I rely solely on heart rate to gauge my effort because treadmill calibration can vary greatly, even between different days. And so I can't just set it to a certain speed and know that will be the right effort for the day. So I've been using my Coros watch and arm heart rate monitor to give me accurate and immediate data on the effort that I'm putting out. And I've been wearing the Coros Pace 3 for years, but Coros just released the Pace 4, which is a brand new watch that I'm super excited about. It's really light, only 31 grams, and has a bright display that makes it easy to see even while you're going at a hard effort. And it has all of the normal Coros features that I love, like sleep tracking, HRV, training load, recovery updates, and you have access to all of these training tools easily in the Coros app. The Pace 4 is everything I look for in a watch. If you're interested in any Coros products, check them out at the link in my description. This year, I'm giving up. I'm obviously not giving up, but I am giving up on overthinking my workouts or trying to give up on that. After this last year, I took a lot of time to reflect, and I realized that a common thread between all of the years and seasons that I've been really successful is the ability to stack a ton of B+ or A- workouts and not necessarily having any one super flashy workout result. In 2024, I had 3 amazing workouts before the Olympic trials, so I think that in 2025, I had this mentality that I needed to have those workout results in order to be successful and race well. The fact of the matter is that those 3 workouts weren't what made me run PRs. It was that I had just stacked 6 months of consistent workouts that had allowed me to perform well. So this year I'm trying to approach workouts like I care, I want to do well, I want to hit the correct effort, but not like I need to hit a certain time or pace for it to be successful. It's more about let me stack these efforts day after day, week after week, and see what the cumulative effect of that is. The second mentality change is turning off. I am a type A perfectionist. I always want to be working towards my goals. That can be both a blessing and a curse. As someone who's a pro runner, it's easy to always be thinking about what's next in training, what more can I do? And as someone who's a content creator, it's easy to always be thinking, what other work can I put in? What should I do next? And it's so hard to ever turn off my brain and my body fully from the work that I have. Last year, I fell into the trap of always being on and overworking my central nervous system to the point where it just became completely fatigued and burnt out. Lately, I've been really focusing on having at least one full day of the week where I turn off from everything. And for me, that looks like reading, watching shows, baking, puzzling, spending time with friends and family. And even though I often find myself starting to drift into thinking about things I need to do, I try to check myself and truly focus on chilling. The third area of change is nutrition. After I had a lot of fatigue this summer, I wanted to make sure that my fueling was on point. So I worked with a dietitian for a month and she evaluated what I was eating. Basically, she said that I was doing a good job and I was eating enough, which was great news. But she also said that there were some small tweaks I could make. The first one of those was adding more carbs. Like I said, I was eating enough, but as an endurance athlete, I didn't have carbs quite as much at the forefront of my diet as I should have. I do think part of this relates to my past because when I was in my ED, carbs were a major fear for me, but this was a good reminder that that's something I need to focus in on. So I've been eating more oatmeal, toast, pasta, fruit, and just trying to make sure that carbs are always the center of every meal and snack. Obviously, I'm also eating protein and fats, but I'm just putting a little extra emphasis on carbs. Nutrition change 2 is eating consistently throughout the day. It's not like I was doing intermittent fasting, but when you are training twice in a day, it's easy to find yourself in small caloric deficits throughout the day, but within day energy availability is actually really important for overall health and injury prevention. So I've been really trying to focus on eating a bigger breakfast and having snacks between my trainings to make sure that I'm not allowing myself to get into any holes during the day that I need to make up for at dinner or after dinner. These are just small nutrition changes, but with my history, I like to make sure that I'm always checking up on myself and pushing myself to consistently get better at fueling. So that's most of it. It's nothing groundbreaking, it's nothing huge, but these are just small incremental changes that I hope can really add up in the long term and help me make progress forward. Let me know what else you'd like to see about my training as I prepare for cross-country nationals and the rest of my goals for next year, which I haven't quite disclosed, but I will soon. So with that, that's all for now, folks.